Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I wanted to film a video on some of my go-to date night scents right now. Now, Pierre and I, we don't really go on a lot of dates. It's a conversation that we have had a lot, and I'm sure that some of you guys in like long-term relationships can totally relate to this. But it's something that we've spoken about a lot, is that we don't really go on dates anymore. And it's something that I wish we would do more often. It doesn't mean we have to go to like a fancy restaurant or something like that. But even just going for a picnic at the park would be super nice and stuff like that. So it's something that we've spoken about many times. And it's something that I wish we would do more often. So Pierre, if you're watching this, I need those dates. But of course, we still we still go on dinners here and there. And I wanted to show you guys some of the fragrances that I love wearing if I'm going on a little date. So some of them you guys have heard me talk about before, but some of them are relatively newer things to my collection. So I wanted to go through everything with you guys now. Coromandel from Chanel. Now, as you guys know, oh, it's not focusing. There we go. So as you guys know, for me, 2024 has been the year of Chanel for me, the year of a lot of French brands, because I don't know, I just really feel like my taste at the moment is aligning a lot with French brands, and Chanel happens to be one of them. I recently bought like a lot of Chanel exclusives on a discounted price, of course, but I bought Roi des Îles, I got Cuir de Russie, I got 1957, I got a couple of others. One that I got a couple of months ago is Coromandel, and I absolutely adore this fragrance. And it is just honestly one of the most beautiful patchouli fragrances that I own in my collection. This fragrance is really popular for a reason. It is such a gorgeous, elegant, sexy, refined patchouli scent with a gorgeous white chocolate note. So as it starts to settle down, you really feel this kind of touch of this smooth, sweet, almost balsamic vibe coming out. And it's just so beautiful, you guys. The patchouli is not too, I don't know, it's not too earthy, it's not too intense, but I would say if you are a little bit on the fence about patchouli, this one is definitely not going to be for you. But I love wearing Coromandel on a night out, on a date, somewhere where I want to feel very sexy, very powerful. That's when I'm going to pull for this fragrance. And Pierre, he loves patchouli notes. It's one of his, I would say it's probably his favorite note in perfumery. So for me, I love to wear this around him because I know he's going to appreciate it. So for me, this is just one of the most beautiful patchouli scents, and it is very famous for a good reason. Longevity and projection is also really good. I get around 8 hours of really good wear with Coromandel, and it has a really nice projection as well. Within the first couple of hours, people all around you will be able to smell your scent. Such a beautiful fragrance that I love so much. It makes me feel powerful and sexy at the same time, and I just love that. And you guys know, obviously Le Lion, it's sitting over there, but I didn't want to put Le Lion because I don't really wear Le Lion on a date. I wear it more like, I don't know, like when I want to be smelled by everyone and I want to be like, I want everyone to be impressed with my scent, I'm going to wear Le Lion. Let's talk about this fragrance right here. Now, as you guys know, I spoke about La Perla Possibilities so much on my channel. So many people bought this fragrance because of me, and it's really one of the most beautiful, sexy floral fragrances in the entire world. Unfortunately, it has been discontinued. This is my only bottle of this stuff, you guys, and I have that much left, but I don't know, like I feel like they've taken it off the shelves to reformulate it and then they're going to bring it back. I don't know that. I haven't spoken to anyone in the industry, but it would be such a shame if they completely discontinued this scent because it is so beautiful. Possibilities is this really beautiful, plush, voluptuous floral scent. I think you have blackcurrant, freesia, rose, vanilla. It's just incredible, you guys. It doesn't feel fruity to me. It's more of this plush explosion of florals. It feels quite powdery, a little bit sweet, a bit woody in its dry down. You have some of the similar captives in here from Givaudan that are in Kilian from Marc-Antoine Barrois. So they definitely feel like sister fragrances. Maybe sister is too close. They feel like distant cousins in terms of the way that they smell. La Perla Possibilities is much more plush, voluptuous floral, whereas Tilia is more kind of clean, a little bit more of that yellow floral vibe. But the captives that they've used inside of this are the same ones in Tilia, if you guys were wondering. So this is just such a sexy, sweet, plush, slightly powdery floral that feels just so intoxicating on the skin. I'm not wearing it anymore because if it is completely discontinued, that's all that I have left of this fragrance, so I would be devastated. But yeah, one of my favorites. Longevity and projection is pretty good on my skin. I get around 8 hours, like 7 to 8 hours of really good wear. And I always was getting so many compliments when I was wearing this scent as well. I used to layer it a lot with Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre, and that layering combo would always get me a compliment. A fragrance that also makes me feel very sexy, very classy, and very sophisticated at the same time is Mon Boudoir from Widian. Now, think of this as your ambery, warm, balsamic, just beautiful fragrance that is voluptuous and luxurious and deep. You know, you have to have that little something about you to wear this fragrance, and I love this fragrance so much. You have a really beautiful ambery balsamic profile in here. I think there is a lot of labdanum, but you also get this heliotrope note. So it feels quite creamy and buttery and slightly almondy in a way, mixed with this ambery vibe. Maybe there is a little touch of patchouli in there, I'm not sure. But it's just so gorgeous, you guys. Think of a slightly more feminine version of Consoir from MFK. That's kind of what you're going to get with Mon Boudoir. It's this beautiful, just rich, balsamic, deep scent for a woman. It's so alluring and intoxicating, especially for the fall and winter. If you're going on a date in the fall and winter, Mon Boudoir is perfect. So I love this fragrance so much. Pierre loves this fragrance on me. Anytime that I've worn this scent around him, he's commented on my fragrance saying that I smell so good. What are you wearing? That smells incredible on you. And I know because this is the type of profile that he likes on me. So I love this fragrance. It's such a beautiful scent. Longevity and projection is also really good on my skin. Around the 8-hour mark, I would say 8+ hours. And it's just an amazing, amazing fragrance. And Widian is such a classic, iconic, just timeless brand. Another fragrance that I absolutely love wearing on a date, if I'm feeling a little bit more playful, if I'm feeling a little bit more dark, if I'm feeling a little bit more femme fatale vibe. Like I actually wore this scent the other night. I had an all black outfit, black tights, black pumps, all black, and I wore this fragrance right here. This is Intoxicated by Kilian. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I absolutely love it. And it's also one of Pierre's favorite fragrances. But I loved it before I even knew him. I love this fragrance. I think it's absolutely incredible. There are quite a few really good scents from Kilian to wear on date night, like Back to Black, Straight to Heaven, Intoxicated. There's quite a few, but the one that I feel the most sexy when I wear is Intoxicated because it's not very feminine leaning. It's very much a unisex fragrance. Obviously, all fragrance is unisex, but this one really feels like this scent that can be appreciated by anyone and everyone. And I just, oh my gosh, it's an overdose of cardamom, like very, very spicy, very green spicy in here. Like especially smelling it right now from the cap. Wow, like you get an explosion of cardamom, and there is also a beautiful coffee note in here. It's not overly sweet to me. It definitely doesn't feel super gourmand. It has this very green spice mixed with this dark bitter coffee. I think you might also have dark chocolate in here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's also dark chocolate in here. So it feels a little bit sweet, but very bitter and sweet. It also has that explosion of the cardamom, which stays throughout the majority of the wear. It never really goes away, which I love. It feels spicy, it feels dark, it feels sexy, it feels alluring. It's just such an incredible fragrance that I personally love. Like I really feel sexy, playful, a little bit kinky when I wear this scent, and I love it so much. So Intoxicated by Kilian. Longevity and projection is okay on this scent. I wouldn't say that it's crazy. Like I said, I wore it just a few nights ago, and I felt like the projection of the scent is not that good, to be honest. Like I felt my fragrance wasn't really it wasn't creating this beautiful bubble that I personally love a fragrance to do, but it still lasted throughout the entire night. So I would say longevity is around 7 hours or so, and then it really starts to sit closer to the skin. But I love the scent nonetheless, and it's something that I love to pull for on date night, especially with an all black outfit. Chef's kiss. Next up, we have a fragrance from Nuit Nomade. And no, it's not Estrella de la Mañana, because I have been speaking so much about that fragrance recently. I love it with every single part of my being, and it's a masterpiece. But for date night, I want something a little bit more comforting, a little bit more sensual, a little bit more sexy, and that is Sugar Leather for me. This is the type of fragrance that I'm gonna pull for when I want to smell slightly more edible. This is the scent that I'm gonna go to. Sugar Leather, oh my gosh. I think you have apple, cinnamon, a leather note in here, but it definitely doesn't feel leathery to me. I would say maybe you get more of like a suede-like quality. I think you also have some other spices, some labdanum. So it feels like you definitely get that ambre narguilé vibe, that Ojan vibe, at least in my experience with this scent. It's not the most unique profile, but it's probably one of my absolute favorites that sit in this category. It's incredibly intoxicating, incredibly strong and long lasting. This one on my skin lasts around 8+ hours with a really good projection, and it does create that little bubble effect, which I personally love. Warm spices, a really just overdose of this delicious sweet aspect to the scent. The suediness is very subtle to me, very subdued. And then I think you have, like I said, this kind of labdanum kind of ambery base to it. It's so beautiful. Really recommend this one. If you are somebody who is a lover of sweeter scents, you must try Sugar Leather. It's definitely one of the best that I've tried. It wouldn't be a date night video without talking about Minuit Demi. Now, Minuit Demi was actually created for this occasion, so it's the perfect time to talk about the scent. This is obviously my fragrance with Fragrance du Bois. Don't mind the bottle. This is like a special edition, but the original bottle is just see-through. So Minuit Demi, I won't talk about it for too long, but this is just such an incredible date night scent. You have cardamom, coffee, vanilla, caramel, but it's not overly sweet. It never teeters into that line of being like food and smelling like food. For me, this has really been created in such a beautiful way, with all of the notes balancing each other out and never kind of overwhelming the scent. For the perfumer that worked on this scent is incredibly talented. He was living in Dubai at the time, and he just did such an amazing job with this fragrance. In the base as well, you have some tobacco, some woods. It's just phenomenal. So well balanced, so well blended. It's so beautifully done. It creates a gorgeous bubble around you. It's going to last on the skin around the 8-hour mark with a really good projection, and it holds onto your clothes for ages as well. So this fragrance for me is one of the ultimate date night scents, especially in the fall and winter. It is just incredible. Next up, we have a fragrance from Widian. This is absolutely one of my favorite brands of 2024. Of course, I knew of Widian. It's very popular in the Middle East, but I didn't really own anything from them until recently. And honestly, everything from the brand I'm in love with. Like, there is probably not even one fragrance from them that I don't like. It's pretty insane, but I'm just obsessed with the brand. And the one that I find to be the most sexy for date night, and the one that I've found myself pulling for date night, is Baniyas. Now, the notes of this fragrance to me don't really correspond to the scent that you're getting from this fragrance, which makes it all the more intriguing when you wear and you experience this scent. So what you have in here is oud, geranium, lavender, patchouli, sandalwood, but it's so odd because I do get something slightly aromatic and woody, but I also get something really floral about this scent. Like, and when I'm talking about floral, I mean white flowers actually. Like, I get almost like, I don't know, like almost a similar vibe to like Supreme Bouquet from Yves Saint Laurent. Like, I get this sweet white floral vibe mixed with the woodiness and the slight aromatic touch. It definitely has a beautiful sweetness in here. And it's just so gorgeous, you guys. Like, this to me is sexy. There is no other word to describe this scent than sexy. It's very alluring, very captivating. It feels just very mysterious as well because you don't really know what you're smelling, but it smells incredible. It smells luxurious, slightly sweet, kind of woody, a little bit floral. Longevity and projection on my skin is around the 8-hour mark, so it's really good on my skin. And I'm just totally in love with this fragrance, especially for date night. I feel like it is incredibly, incredibly sexy. So definitely check this one out. Check out the whole entire brand. They have some amazing fragrances like Black too. Obviously London and New York are super nice, but my favorites also are Healy. This one for the white floral lovers, you're going to die over that one. Liwa is also really nice, but Baniyas for me for a date night is a go-to for me. I'm obsessed with it. What would a date night video be without me talking about Bouquet Ideale from Casamorati? Now, this fragrance definitely flies under the radar from Casamorati. I love it. Like, I love this fragrance. You can see from my bottle, actually. And I was speaking with a local Emirati guy the other day at the mall that I was doing my interviews for a sniff. And he was telling me that he loves this fragrance from Casamorati. He was like, Casamorati, the red one. And I was like, Bouquet Ideale? And he was like, yeah, that one. And it's so good, you guys. Like, it is an incredible fragrance. Now, it's not overly sweet, it's not overly feminine, it's not super floral, it's just this amazing kind of warm, spicy, woody fragrance. You have sandalwood, cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, tonka. Oh my gosh, but nothing is nothing is overwhelming in this scent. It's not too sweet, it's not too woody in my experience. It's not too spicy. It's so beautifully balanced, this fragrance, you guys. You do feel the woodiness, but it's not overpowering, like I said. It's just such a sexy, sexy fragrance, you guys. Like, every time I have the chance to pick my fragrance for a date night, this is always in my mind. I'm like, should I go for Bouquet Ideale again? No, I've got to try something new. So I just love this fragrance. I love everything about it. Definitely check this one out. Longevity and projection is good. Not as strong as like Italica, for instance, but it is strong. It lasts on my skin 7 to 8 hours with a really good projection in the first few hours. So check it out. This one is slept on, but it is fan-freaking-tastic. Another fragrance that drives me absolutely crazy is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. I absolutely love wearing this fragrance on date night. It is so incredibly sexy to me. I have had this fragrance in my collection for many, many years. It's probably been about 7 years since I've owned this, and I still love it just as much today. It is so good, you guys. What you have with Tom Ford Noir Parfum is this spicy, dry, ambery fragrance. It's just incredible. But there is a very unique note in here called kulfi, which I think is a dessert from, I think it's an Indian dessert actually. And so it has this really unique, slightly sweet aspect. I feel like it's so weird to think about how the perfume industry was years ago versus now. Like, this is a fragrance I feel like years ago that we would have considered to be slightly gourmand, whereas now gourmands have just gone, you know, off the rails. And unless it's like a pastry dessert with cream all over, it's not considered gourmand. But back in the day when I was reviewing, this was probably considered to be slightly gourmand. But now when I smell it, I'm like, not compared to anything that we smell these days. So this fragrance has this really interesting dessert note, but it's not overly sweet. This is a very ambery, very dry, almost a little bit earthy in a way, spicy fragrance, and it's just intoxicating. Truly, truly intoxicating, you guys. I love wearing this scent. I feel so sexy when I wear it. And for me, it is like honestly one of the most perfect date night fragrances. It lasts on my skin 7-8 hours, I would say, with a minimal projection. This one doesn't project that much, but you do smell it on yourself. So I love it. If you can find a bottle of this one, definitely get it. It is so, so beautiful. If I want to go for a kind of rose oud, I was trying to think, because I didn't want to put so many in this video. I do sometimes pull for Noir de Noir from Tom Ford, Ardent from Bodicea, Lancôme Oud Bouquet, Oud Satin Mood from MFK, you get the gist. But the one that I probably pull for the most for a date night is Nefs from Nishane. You guys know how much I love this one. It's just very special to me. What you have in Nishane Nefs is rose, an overdose of honey. You have saffron, oud. I think there is a bunch of other stuff in here, but it's very dense. It's very sweet. It's almost a little bit leathery in a way. I think you also have a boozy note in here. I think you have whiskey. But it's very, very complex. I really don't feel like this fragrance will be for everyone. Some people have messaged me saying that they tried it off of my recommendation, and for them it smelled very rubbery and plastic, which I can see what you're talking about. It could be the saffron note. But honestly, you guys, for me, I love this fragrance so much. I feel so incredibly sexy when I wear it. You definitely get that honey, you get the rose, you get the oud. It's not animalic or anything like that. You do feel the saffron as well. You definitely do get a little bit of that, which is probably bringing this leathery, maybe slightly plasticky effect. But it's just an incredible, incredible fragrance that I love so much, you guys. And I feel so powerful and sexy and just so good when I wear this fragrance. It's a beast mode. Don't need to talk about it. It lasts 12 plus hours with an enormous projection. This one is going to last hours and hours on your skin and on your clothes for days. So more of a recent fragrance to my collection, and one that has become something that I reach for quite a lot, is Flower Lust from Dorset. I am completely in love with this scent. It is so beautiful, by Dominique Ropion. The other fragrance that I love from Dorset is Sur tes Lèvres, which is also created by Dominique Ropion. I do really think he has something very special. Obviously in general, but especially with floral fragrances. I really think he is the master of florals, and this is so beautiful. It's not just a floral fragrance. There is a lot more going on in here. You have a lot of tonka, a lot of benzoin. You have orange blossom as well, so you definitely do feel this kind of orange blossom touch, but it's like almost overpowered by those sweeter notes. But it's not overly sweet in a way either. You do as well get this kind of soft spicy effect in the opening. You also have some ylang ylang in here, but for me, I don't really feel the ylang ylang so much. You get more of like an indistinguishable floral effect with an overdose of that tonka, benzoin, those peppery kind of opening notes. And then in the base, you also have some patchouli and vetiver. So it's a very strong, quite a sharp floral fragrance that definitely has a sweetness that's not overly gourmand, thank God. But it's so beautiful and sexy and addictive. And I wore it a lot when I was in Cannes. And I got a lot of compliments, you guys, when I was wearing Flower Lust. It's such a beautiful fragrance. And if I want something that's strong, that's sexy, but it also has a floral aspect to it, but more in like a dark, mysterious way, Flower Lust is the one that I'm gonna wear. Next up, we have a fragrance that I absolutely love. I love it so much, and I love this brand as well a lot. This is the Merchant of Venice, and the fragrance that we're speaking about is Venezia 21. I also could have put in Queen of the Night because I recently got that fragrance a couple of weeks ago, and I have been wearing it on date night, and I love it so much. Like, Queen of the Night, you guys, is gorgeous. Also La Fanise pour Femme, but that one is more of, I don't want to say basic, but slightly more of like a basic DNA. But I also love Liberty. There's a couple of others that really stand out from this brand for me, but Venezia 21, I had to mention it because I feel like a lot of you guys would love this one. But in general, I can share with you guys some recommendations for the brand because it's so beautiful. Venezia 21 is one of my favorite fragrances in the category of this vanilla oud with saffron. There is a lot of fragrances that were launched in the last couple of years, especially from Jordi Fernandez, that have vanilla oud and saffron, but this is really the one that happened to stand out the most for me because it smells so indulgent and luxurious. You have the saffron in here, you have cinnamon and praline. So it definitely has a sweetness, but not overly so. Once again, you guys know my taste, and if I want a sweet fragrance, I'm gonna wear a sweet fragrance. But most of the time, I like a fragrance that is very well balanced and has a slightly addictive quality without being food-like. And this is exactly that. It has this addictive sweetness, but not too much. It's quite creamy and woody, a little bit smoky. You definitely feel the saffron. And as it starts to dry down, it becomes woodier, creamier, a little bit sweeter, and you also get a little bit of like a frankincense note that comes out in the dry down. It's absolutely spectacular. I love this fragrance. Pierre loves this fragrance. He actually is probably the one that wears it more than I do, but I love this fragrance so much for date night, and also Queen of the Nights. Also that one, guys, wow, it's a perfect date night scent. I just love this fragrance so much. I have spoken about this fragrance for years, so I'm going to speak about it quickly. But when I think of like a sweet rose fragrance, this is the one that comes to my mind. This is Peregrina from Thameen. You have the rose, but you also have, I think, gardenia. You have caramel, vanilla. It is this beautiful, sweet, jammy rose and white floral fragrance that somehow does it the best that I've ever tried. It is truly incredible. If you like this fragrance, but maybe you wanted to try something else, the other fragrance that I feel like could be in the same universe is Lettres de Pushka by LK. But if I have to pick only one, for me, it's gonna be Peregrina. This is, oh my gosh, so good. This jammy rose with gardenia, caramel, vanilla. It's so incredible, you guys. I haven't worn it for a while because look at my bottle. If you guys can see, I am almost out of this stuff, and for some reason, like, finishing the bottle makes me realize that I'm gonna have to spend and buy another one, so I'm trying to hold on to it. But honestly, if I had unlimited stock of this, I would probably wear it almost every day because it's so sexy and addictive on the skin. Another one that always garners me compliments as well. Whenever I wear this, Pierre will be like, you smell good. What did you wear tonight? Like, that smells good. I love this one so much. Definitely recommend this to you guys. Peregrina from Thameen. So that is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video talking about date night scents and what I love to wear. This is more like a kind of like an updated list. Some of them don't change, like Bouquet, Ideale, Nefs, and a couple of others that I love, but the Flower Lust and like Baniyas, these are all new fragrances that I just love wearing on date night. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.